Welcome back to the Mark Passio Natural Law Seminar, part 22, but we're jumping into the comments on part 21. Marty, hello, Avalonian, 08X. Hey, I even went this way. Before we get back to Mark, we were on, I think, the natural order, chaos, and those not ready to engage in freedom was my ranting points. But we got from DISL Automatic. I'm already subscribed, so I'm thinking I've heard at least one track. Freedom under natural law. A little reaction to start out this natural law seminar. And let's see if it lines up with what we've been listening to.
If you are intelligent, then you know that freedom is inherent because it's evident. It doesn't come from government. It don't come from the president. It comes from the creator.
Nailing it from Jump Street? I'm kidding, but I'm not. I mean, that's what we're here talking about.
It comes from the creator of all universal elements. Some people say it's God-given, others say it's heaven sent. No matter what you call it, natural law sets the precedent. Subjective morality's a fallacy. There's laws that we cannot see, like gravity, that people accept happily, but tragically they believe that freedom has to be granted to them magically by royalty or majesty. It's sad to see people willingly give up their liberty because they don't really see the enemy that's on a killing spree. The state, it hates sovereign individuals because those who follow natural law and abide by all its principles are mentally invincible, immune to the brainwash. We liberate ourselves and then help others break the chains off. We ain't soft, we go hard like when the thunder hits. Guns and clips ready in self-defense from the government and the elitists running it. Blast them all.
Yeah, I feel bad about this lyrical content. Leads to something that came up at the bar the other day. And I mean, I don't, all opinions for entertainment purposes only. It was only if the world fell apart. But someone was asking me, are you ready? And I'm like, well, technically no. But if video games have taught me anything, I can re-up on the corpses of my enemies. So, I would never want to. But I'd be damned if I'm getting put back in a cage for nothing. And I'm not going in a box because I have an opinion. I refer back to that rant yesterday. Yes, there's a lot of opinions flying around, but I don't want you to think mine's true. It's just for shits and giggles. Because the system is built on some weird rules. I take to the street and I burn down someone's business. They're going to call it speech. But if I say something wrong and say it's coming from my heart, they're going to limit my reach. Hey, I was a poet and I didn't even know it.
Chains off, we ain't soft, we go hard like when the thunder hits. Guns and clips ready in self-defense from the government and the elitists running it. Blast them all, claim our freedom standing under it. Natural law, the elitists running it. Blast them all, claim our freedom standing under it. Natural law, freedom under natural law for us all. Yeah, freedom under natural law for us all. Yeah.
That's the problem. I hate to beat that dead horse.
For us all.
For us all.
Natural law. Freedom under
it's easier said than done. Yeah.
For us all.
Oh, there's the problem. Not the track. The track's a banger. It's the for us all. See, because, right? It's that, once again, not something I made up. You just constantly groups at odds with each other. Well, If everyone's your enemy, how are you going to free them from slavery? You don't care if they're enslaved. Ah! And that's the part that just kills me. It's like, really? I think if we were all free, which is a mindset we don't have, then the constraining factors of natural law, morality, and ethical activities would win out, and those who engage in darkness and evil, destruction, consumption, and control would stick out like a sore thumb. I mean, like, ouch! That person wants to control us. Done with that. But see, that's the difference. We have bubbly groups that want Big Daddy government to take care of their trash for them. And I'm ready to let the neighbors know how trashy they are the moment society crumbles. I certainly wouldn't put that on the government. I'd put that on you being an asshole in public and all of us having to tolerate it. Right? What? It's whatever you want and the rest of us just kind of take it in the rear end? I know that's popular now, but I don't think that's the game plan. I saw a very nice clip over on X. I think I saved it. Now, the young lady, this I believe is sort of in regards to everybody freaking out about, like, what, a jeans commercial and some other shit. But here's the problem. You can do
Whatever.
you.
Honestly,
You can,
why are
but
people so obsessed with sexual identity? Like, if you're gay or lesbian, cool, whatever. Honestly, I don't care.
let it go.
But why are you making an identity about it? Are you bored? Can we not just have a pool party instead? If I began...
All right, just right there. Can't we just have a pool party instead? Everything about who you banged last week? Like if you had a taco dinner, how sex was complicated for you and your lover? Well, nobody cares. She makes a good point about that.
talking about how straight I am, would
See?
that be bored? Can we not just have a pool party instead? If I began talking about how straight I am, would that be weird? Yes, it would.
Now, honestly, the thirst trap underboob thing does not escape me. I'm pretty sure that's to poke people who get angry about things. But hey, that's what we're here to do too. Every now and then. But my problem is instead of being free to live your life within some sort of moral framework, I keep hearing how laws against certain communities are going to affect them, right? It's like laws about protecting children are somehow going to affect their community poorly. What? I hear I got to fly Delta to Florida twice a year. I hear I can't trust the pilots no more. I just think there's something really broken, and some of it comes down to everyone thinking what their crotches are about matters. No. Who gives a rat's ass? And what you do in private, as long as you're not hurting nobody, cool. Society wants to be done talking about who you bang in public. I promise you.
This is the part where you may get mad at me. I've been to poverty. Are you bored? Can we not just have a pool party instead? If I began talking about how straight I am, would that be weird? Yes, it would. This is the part where you may get mad at me. I've been to poverty-stricken zones in many different countries, and no one there has the luxury to be oversaturated in sexual identity. Is sexual identity a form of privilege? The irony is that people who talk nonstop about their sexual identity would call me privileged for being white. But sitting around and demanding attention for your sexual identification sounds a bit privileged to me. Is it something bored humans do? And before the phobic comments roll out, asking if someone's bored is not being phobic of them. Actually, questions imply curiosity.
There. Now, this is the part that really resonated with me. And I know it's to poke the bear. the entire control system that would like a lot of the public to just shut up. It's not your turn anymore. Wait! Isn't it as much my turn as I want to speak on the subject? This idea that society's going to pick and choose who I listen to, no, I'm going to go with the data coming out of their face hole. Not the propaganda they came up with in the think tank.
And fear expels curiosity. So the ad hominem fallacy, a method people use to discredit a thought by attacking the character of a person who voices that thought, will not work here. Apologies. Why are people
I think she's fire, and that is, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's to piss people off. Good. Fuck them. I'm so tired of I'm supposed to silently be victimized. Now, I did too much time, and I got to shake a mofo if they do something wrong. So I'm not going to tolerate that. And as Alex Jones used to say, if you want to create, Prison Planet, his thing, yeah, I'll add on to that. You want to create a prison planet, you're going to have to deal with the motherfuckers who can run the prison. And that ain't the guards. You have a misconception about what goes on in a cage. Not present company, of course. It's always for whoever might stumble across it and needs to hear the hard truth. The guards are just there to keep you safe. They wanted to destroy the whole... Oh, wait, that's evident of that happens. So, yeah. Will runs everything right now in this a slave state. Until we would adjust our will to care and construction, not death and destruction. I think we're screwed.
Under hits, guns and clips, ready in self-defense from the government and the elitists running it. Blast them all, claim our freedom standing under it. Natural law, the elitists running it. Blast them all, claim our freedom standing under it. Natural law, freedom under natural law. For us all, yeah, freedom under natural law. For us all, yeah, freedom under natural law. For us all, what? For us all, what? Freedom for us all, what? You know what we do. Get big on FUNL.
Nice. That was cool. Good clip. And I got in trouble not going to the end, so we better go give credit where credit's due. All that jazz. I liked it. I think we got a lot of empty space there. So very cool. What a way to start. Thank you. And as I was saying with my honey, because things are rough. Oh, wrong one. That's the old one. Things have been rough, and I was discouraged. And then both of Marty and Avalon, sorry, I'm not good with all these. Hey, I like to smoke pot names. So, I mean, we align ourselves with identities, but I appreciate the people that are over here just taking a little time. There is so much good content within Passio Seminar that we're not wasting our time. I'm sorry sometimes I'm too long-winded, but hopefully some of it matches up with what we're hearing and I'm not just wasting our time. I feel I'm not. Y'all keep coming back. Let's go.
Order.
Order.
It's in the word. It's in the phrase. Natural order. What people are describing as the natural order through this utter nonsense concept called social Darwinism is, as I've called it before, psychopathic chaos.
Now that came up in the Halloween because over in the freedom under natural law, it picked and chose alignments. All those alignments represent the umbrella of natural law. Over in damn, over in that Halloween universe reaction, which was cool. There was one mixed messaging where it threw that nihilistic stardust Darwinism. Oh, we're just pond scum, but the universe created everything. We're pond scum, but we're stars. And then I know which side. I hate that it's political and I hate that it's tribal. But you know right there what side it goes with. And just watching this show called Manifest. It's very interesting. But I've been listening over her shoulder for a couple nights. And it's full of internet conspiracy, esoteric knowledge, and all this cool stuff being battled by, lesbian gay couples and they thems. That's cool. I'm not, as the young lady said, I don't care. It doesn't change the storyline. I find the storyline interesting. They literally just had to go get some magic sapphire from the Masonic Hall. I mean, it's a TV show for the normies. The interesting truth is the control system, the conspiracies, and all the weird knowledge is all been wrapped together, and we're living under it. As Marty pointed out, it's working out just the way it was supposed to. Ick, freedom, daddy government, save me.
And break down that word. Psychopathology means an illness of the mind. Psychopathy is mental illness. Psyche in Greek means the mind. Okay? And pathology is an illness, sickness. Psychopaths are mentally ill. And they don't create anything resembling order. All they can create is chaos, which is why they want us to mimic their mindset, because they're just bent on hell and destruction to manifest, and they have to have our complicity and cooperation to make that dynamic happen. Our energy has to be given over to them by our mindset being made like theirs. Otherwise, their worldview can't come into manifestation, which is one of chaos and disorder.
Okay, before he goes on, I think that's actually a really deep point, said in a really normal way. But that's why the entire conspiracies of they tell you what's coming in the movies and the stories and the art. That's why that exists. We are complicit with them. We are enabling our own enslavement.
Can create is chaos, which is why they want us to mimic their mindset, because they're just bent on hell and destruction to manifest, and they have to have our complicity and cooperation to make that dynamic happen. Our energy has to be given over to them by our mindset being made like theirs. Otherwise, their worldview can't come into manifestation, which is one of chaos and disorder. The negative manifestation, chaos, or manifested evil, is the exact opposite of what we say we want. Chaos results when there is imbalance and injustice, which results whenever there is ignorance of truth and behavior which is in direct opposition to natural law. So that's our chart, and one last thing I want to say about it is that the manifestations or the expressions of natural law are what I would call, they're unilateral. They don't cross into each other, okay? There's no such thing as, well, I've accepted the truth and I've developed knowledge, so now I'm in a state of confusion. It doesn't work like that, okay? You can't go from ignorance to sovereignty, to the understanding.
I do this right in front of y'all. The knowledge base is here. My inability to accept it keeps me in the unbalanced negative side effect side. And it's weird because we're getting more employees. We just got another employee that knew all about The Secret. We've already, on our third day, we were talking about manifestation and the misconception of how self works. The Secret, greedy, Luciferian left-hand path manifestation. Get rid of the stumbling blocks that would keep you from getting rich. You deserve it. You can help serve the left-hand path as well. And it's very interesting how things line up. I see the evidence how to let go of the trappings of enslavement. Freedom's a scary fucking thing. I just wish that wasn't true.
Understanding that you're sovereign. You cannot cross the area of these charts. Once you're here, you can only go here. In order to get here, you got to come from here. In order to get here, you got to come from here, here, and here. You don't get there from any of these. You don't get here from anything in this column. You don't get here from anything in this column. Okay? Please keep this in mind. These expressions are unilateral. Okay? No, they cannot be skipped either. Good question. They must proceed in order and in the same column of expression. So you can only get to order through freedom, which comes about through the understanding that we are sovereign, which comes about through taking in knowledge of truth, and which comes about through staying in a vibratory energy of love or higher consciousness.
Okay. And I do realize wholeheartedly that one of the problems is, just like Passio says, he would give away this knowledge. It's something that the world needs. I would align it with A$AP Rock and his hope-laced bars full of visions of a better future crumbled before his eyes because one person can't change the world. Until we're all ready to be free, none of us are free. That's a tough spot for free people to be in. Hey, wouldn't you like to join us over here in I'm free individual? No, I want protection and benefits that drip down the inside of my sweaty master's leg. Ew. But they demand that treatment. And how do you fix that mindset and then end up over here in this column? Because it's like, oh, your peers want to drag you right back into the mud.
The openness to truth. That's it. Same thing here. We can only create chaos when our society is bent on control, okay? Because we are confused beings that don't understand our sovereignty and think other people can legitimately own us or rule us. And that comes from a place of ignorance or refusal of the truth, which is based in fear. Can only manifest that way. Blanket statement, too. And I will not retract on that blanket statement because this has nothing to do with what I think or feel or my beliefs. This is how laws operate in creation. Not a belief system, not a religion, has absolutely nothing to do. I did not develop this. I came to an understanding of it by seeking truth. I'm telling you, this is not my information, never has been my information, never will be my information. There's no copyright on it. I don't claim it. It's eternal truths that have existed forever and will exist forever, whether human beings are here or not.
In the comments, Avalonian, excuse me if I keep getting it wrong. I mean no disrespect. That 15, I went and looked at that timestamp, and that the whole, we're not ready to be free thing. No,
information. There's no copyright on it.
Yeah, and Our problem is our opposition knows that and constantly uses it against us. And we're just in... I don't know. I don't think I have a good point here. It fell apart. What I'd actually find completely different subject. Moving on. I find the control system hell-bent on giving you aliens, interdimensional creatures, anything but a set of rules that exist and are observable. They can't get you to believe in them. Maybe they'll get a chance to have you believe in Space Daddy, Space Squirrelkin Spirit, if that's your thing, right? Alien slug monster, but it's better than us. Bow down to it. Or, oh my God, be afraid of the alien space slug. We need to control you all right now. All you normies, what you do matters. Not all the evil, dark psychopaths on the world. All you normies got to sign up to line in. We need to put you in boxes. That constant need to take care of yourself, protect yourself, and love your family is problematic to the future goals and plans of the leaders of this world. If they can get right up your ass, then though, then it won't matter. They'll know what you're doing and they won't care. They'll just have you.
Don't claim it. It's eternal truths that have existed forever and will exist forever, whether human beings are here or not.
And they're free. They're free. That's the problem, is the theys are free. Sovereign. They are creating evil and consumption. Oh, they know they're free to consume humans as a commodity. Reverting back to his psychopathic psychopathy runs the world.
Take it and share it freely and widely to anybody that's capable of comprehending it, because it's the only way we're going to get out of this mess. Okay? Those are the expressions of natural law. Now, when I say living in harmony with natural law or living in opposition to natural law, what do I really mean? Well, what this has to do with is knowledge. And we're going to keep going back to this trend. This thread is not going away, okay? And guess what? Every time I teach any of this stuff, whenever there's the new age community around or present, okay, and you'll encounter them from time to time, they'll insist, they'll even see it's like you can tell knowledge is becoming a bad word to these people. No. When you say K-N-O-W.
Yes. Now it is AI assistant. You're not supposed to know anything. You let the algorithm tell you what you're supposed to think next. It will help you align with the new social contract being created. And trust me, it's not going to look cool. It wipes out the bottom. Yeah, it looks a lot like that Hunger Games shit. It looks like the Met Gala. They already do that extreme bullshit.
No, it's almost like they immediately have an avulsion, extreme negative reaction, and it is fear, but it's mind control moreover, because they are being fed this poisonous untruth that there's not really any such thing as knowledge, and that knowledge is not the way out of this prison. And I'm telling you, it goes hand in hand with religious traditions, because they want you to externalize your power, externalize everything. And I'm not telling you, I'm not saying don't have a model for behavior. And okay, this person, Buddha patterned it. You want to pattern your behavior on the Buddha's life? Great. Live the great life. You want to pattern your behavior on the life of Christ? Whatever. And again, I'm not getting into this discussion here today about the actual historicity of the man Jesus, regardless of what you believe regarding that. I understand I could write books on astrotheology, okay? I understand that being may never have existed in the way a lot of people believe he did. So what? Whether Siddhartha Gautama existed in the form of a man or not, or whether that's an allegory, who cares? Understand the spiritual teachings they were trying to convey to humanity and then apply them in your life. Live by that.
And there's why it could never be a Christian channel. Because there's complete denial there. And then the original Zeitgeist movie, Astrotheology, 9/11, and a money. Now, hey, they might have taken liberties. All opinions on these subjects are for entertainment purposes only. But the common... It makes so much more sense than what humans tell me. It just does. You don't have to take... it's not hard to comprehend. In a very short time, technology swept the entire planet, has its attention span bound. This channel, I myself constantly harp on the existence of humanity outside of technology. And we're talking steam tech on. Mechanized technology, not the wheel. Engines. God, it's complicated. Okay, I'm talking about, do we really, or do we arrogantly define hunter-gatherer period? How long did that last? How long did we have no limited light sources and stared at the sky as our total inspiration? Now, the Aztecs were able to build temples and clocks that are pretty accurate. That the precession of the stars influenced us to quite a bit. It makes so much sense that the story that can be mapped out in the stars has played out in every mythology or creation or god myth there is. While the framework of natural law has always been in place. So it's like, it doesn't seem complicated at all that you should align, as was just said, with ideas and social contracts that align with morality and ethical behavior. But, they built entire control systems to honor human sacrifice. I'm not sure humans get it right hardly ever.
Ethic, that code, and great, okay? And have whatever religious notion you want, okay? What I'm saying is, what this religion called the New Age movement and what many official, organized, regional religions, okay, do is they try to take the emphasis off knowledge. Because again, if you're not seeking truth and trying to develop knowledge, that's how this information remains occult. And that's how the control system stays in place. They want you to externalize your power to a deity or a guru. Once you do that, you're accepting your chains. You're saying, I have no power. Let me tell you something, folks. I'm not powerless.
The best way I could put that for anyone, because sometimes it's a stretch, is this is where you resonate with the knowledge that focused prayer seems to be pretty powerful. Laughter, will, what you could learn about the placebo effect, how you could will things to happen just because your mind believes it's supposed to happen. No, you can't do, right? It's like so weird that people automatically think, well, it couldn't be me. That's just all coincidence. There is no coincidences. That's like the word conspiracy theory. It's designed to keep us ignorant. Especially when those coincidences start piling up on a daily. Well, now you're no longer, you're just ignoring the signs.
I am full of power.
Bam!
Why? Because I have knowledge of how things actually work. Nobody can tell me that I'm owned by somebody else and can get me to believe it because I have understanding of my sovereignty. If they can take that away from you by getting you to de-emphasize the importance of knowledge, of self-knowledge, they own you.
That's what made me detach from the state after I finally got my freedom, when I was finally off paper and I wasn't a ward of the state anymore. Anything I could do, I stopped opening mail, I stopped any contracting with the state. I just said, nah, I'm cool, I'm good. I don't want to do it. Now I have to contract with corporations, and I still contract with the state on things that they will probably apply force if I don't, right? There's the thing. I understand they still wield force to put in edicts and demands on my person that are, go against natural law. And then you got that hard choice. Do you comply or let them put you down? I'm not ready to get put down yet. I'm thinking they can't keep the whole thing running. So I might as well at least wait till the chaos period kicks into high gear and see how well I do there. Oof, probably not. I'm not stupid. All the best laid plans, some methy shoots you in the back of the head to steal your, the copper out of your mobile home. I'm just saying, you can't predict anything. That's the damn shame.
That's when you're owned at that point. Okay? Knowledge is the way out of this. Knowledge, understanding, and then converting that to true wisdom through actions. Not believing in something, not accepting everything, not waiting on somebody to come down and save you, whether it be Zoroaster or the aliens from Zeta Reticuli or Ashtar Command or Jesus Christ. Okay? You keep waiting on an external savior, you're going to be waiting in your chains forever. The knowledge of truth is what the Christ figure himself proclaimed would be the pathway to true freedom. Now, whether you put any emphasis on even exoteric Christianity, I'm telling you, that's the core of all the mystery traditions, is that until you take in the light, you'll never dispel the darkness.
Catch that? The simplest things escape so many people.
Exoteric Christianity, I'm telling you, that's the core of all the mystery traditions, is that until you take in the light, you'll never dispel the darkness.
I believe Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. In whatever framework my heart needs to see that idea, I don't look at the book as divine word of God. I'm positive that's how long ago incredibly intelligent, knowledgeable people tried to save us from the blood sacrifice cults. That's what I truly believe. And that it represents one of the only paths, not the only, but one of the only paths to, I can't say it better, the light.
And the light is knowledge of truth. That's what it has always been symbolized as and represented as. Okay? Knowledge is the answer. And here's what
and we'll go back, hear this all one more time. Yeah, we'll hear that one more time.
Now, whether you put any emphasis on even exoteric Christianity, I'm telling you, that's the core of all the mystery traditions, is that until you take in the light, you'll never dispel the darkness. And the light is knowledge of truth. That's what it has always been symbolized as and represented as. Okay? Knowledge is the answer. And here's what the biggest piece of knowledge that comprises natural law needs to be understood. There is a difference. It is a 100% completely polarized antithesis. These are diametric opposites that exist in nature. These concepts, right and wrong, do not exist as constructs within the human mind. Anybody who believes that is thrown completely off the path. They are engaged in Satanism. Let me just say it just openly, right out, in a way that is completely unambiguous. If you believe there's no real difference between these things and that they do not exist in nature, you are accepting Satanism. It's a satanic belief system that comes directly from dark occultism. And once again, you could say whatever you want about believing that or not. I was a priest within this religion. So if you go up to a Jewish rabbi, and you would expect he would have some knowledge of the Judaic tradition, would you not? Yeah. If you went up to a Catholic priest, you would say, well, he has some knowledge of Catholicism and how it expresses the Christian tradition, would you not? If you go up to a Islamic, what are they called?
Iman.
Yeah, right. Would you expect that this practitioner of his religion, who's in the priest class of his religion, would have some knowledge of Islam? Well, I'm telling you, I was a priest in Satanism. And I'm telling you, the concept of moral relativism is satanic belief. It is satanic ideology. It's it's their second tenet. They have 4 pillars. The 4 pillars of Satanism are self-preservation is the highest aspiration, and nothing comes above it. The second tenet is there is no such thing as the objective difference between right and wrong. Right is what's good for me, wrong is what's bad for me, personally. And that's it. And I get to make that up based on my likes, preferences, and whims. Okay? The third tenet is so...
And there's why that's the one that now we make all the Crowleyan sex jokes, because it turns out the elite people really like the orgies. And they convince themselves that it might look immoral to others, but they have earned the right to have those pleasures. They've done too much, achieved so much in their lifetime. Who could tell them no? And people are like, oh, that seems nuts. That's not, no. Because they truly believe whatever they do is good. That's a hurdle we have to get out of our way if we're ever going to be free.
Social Darwinism, which is an extension of macrobiological Darwinian theory. Okay? Social Darwinism, an oligarchy or a ruling class gets to direct the herd because we know better. And it's just our right to do so because our intellect makes us superior. And the fourth pillar is eugenics. Since we are ultimately God, since we decide what's real and what's not real, and we give that...
And then, if you could just separate for a moment and go over there on the internet and look at the blowback on that Sydney Sweeney ad. Holy Jesus. The programming is so bad that they project eugenics-like ideas onto a sex appeal, which I think is a lot different than the sexual identity rant that started off today. Part of that reaction and song and all that. I realize we're going on an hour soon, so who's been here. While there are true individuals trying to manipulate, and this is the problem, they got you stuck on some Nazi propaganda bullshit when they're going to turn you into cyborgs tapped into their algorithm, mind controllable with switches, with injections, DNA manipulation. They're not going to breed you out. There's no death by snoo-snoo for any of you. Nah, there's medical tyranny and technocratic control. That's the eugenics program that's being worked out right now. They admit it. I'm just making jokes. They hold seminars and talk about it. Turning off your emotional response with a switch because you are just a programmable meat sack. As long as you willingly put a plug in for them. I think that part's funny as fuck. They line up to put in the plug.
Perception to the rest of the herd, and we get to decide what's right and wrong. Well, we're God here. And therefore, we get to decide who lives and who dies. That's the 4 pillars of Satanism. And you know how many people believe that nonsense? A whole lot. Way more than people in the priest class of this religion, because they are propagating these tenets everywhere in human.
It's so much worse now. A decade later, that's all we got. That's why we showed them other clips. We're at a spot where the debauchery of moral relativism is now paraded around in the streets as family fun. Now, I know I'm not the only one who has a problem with all that. Because the next stage is so disgusting to think about. The normies, they just won't have that conversation. But the slippery slope is almost straight up and down. We're almost vertical now, folks.
Society. So many people are Satanists and do not even know that they are Satanists. It is a secret, infectious ideology. And I'll tell you a personal anecdote real quick. And I'll tell you who it is now, because I don't care anymore. My own grandmother. All right? Let's make it personal. All right? Okay? And I hope she sees it. My own grandmother, I believe was in her late 70s or maybe early 80s at the time. Okay? I think she's in her mid-80s now. And I don't speak to her anymore. I took a printed sheet of paper that I printed out of my printer, printed it out of a laser printer, and I put a little piece of white tape. I taped a piece of white paper over the heading, the title of the document. And I asked her to read this. It had 4 paragraphs, right? And the paragraphs described each of the tenets of Satanism, very briefly. Self-preservation is the highest law, et cetera, et cetera. Moral relativism is what we believe in. Social Darwinism is what we believe in. And we believe in eugenics. Okay? She said to me, well, I pretty much agree with everything that's written there. And I said, you do? And she said, yeah, that's how I think. I don't see anything really wrong with it or bad with it. I said, okay. I said, peel that little strip of paper off that I've taped to the top. I want you to see what the document's called. And on top, it said, the tenets of modern Satanism. And you know what her response was? Well, then I guess that makes me a Satanist, doesn't it? Not horrified.
No.
Not,
Cool.
oh my God,
Okay.
what is my belief system? What do I believe in? No. Well, guess that makes me a Satanist, doesn't it? As if it was just no big thing. And you know what? You know how many people are in that mindset? Hundreds of millions, if not billions. Yeah. And don't even understand what it is.
So this is, in this house, I talk about what are they called? Indifference videos. Unfortunately, it's Chinese propaganda, I'm sure. But it's a society so self-centered that as it was a child, but as a kid's getting run over in the street, they don't even pull out the film. They just ignored it. The problem is it's so horrific that I think, maybe it's some incredibly disgusting dark web shit. And it shouldn't have got leaked anyways, but there's plenty of these. Empty, a world so self-absorbed that all that matters is you surviving within the framework that you allowed to be created around you. And it is scary. Oh, it's fucking scary.
Okay? I said, peel that little strip of paper off that I've taped to the top. I want you to see what the doc.
Well, and then that's it. I think what it is they don't really realize their whole concept of a monotheistic system, I think, is out the window. That's why natural law is so important. It covers the whole. You get rid of those regional differences that come from cultural aspects, not natural law or control. And you see that it doesn't matter where, as long as as long as it's me, we'll eventually just stop caring about anything but me. And then they've won. Then your end times get here, and everyone cares about self, so they'll take the side of the system that says that's great. And I think we're almost there. They tell you everything you do, stick your dick in it. That's good. It's like, oh.
It's called. And on top it said, the tenets of modern Satanism. And you know what her response was? Well, then I guess that makes me a Satanist, doesn't it? Not horrified. Not, oh my God, what is my belief system? What do I believe in? No. Well, guess that makes me a Satanist, doesn't it? As if it was just no big thing. And you know what? You know how many people are in that mindset? Hundreds of millions, if not billions, and don't even understand what it is. Because they think Satanism is something that it is not. They don't understand what the ideology of Satanism is. They think you have to be associated with the trappings of Satanism. Okay? That you have to dress as if there's such a thing as dressing like a Satanist. Or you have to have certain things on your walls in your house or in your garage if you're a Satanist. Well, let me tell you something. Satanists are the owners of banks. They own hospitals. They own schools. Okay? Yeah. Certainly that university right across the road. And many people ascribe to this religion in their thoughts, emotions, and actions, and do not even understand it because they don't even understand what that belief system is about. They don't understand what that ideology is. They don't know its tenets. So, again, going back to this, if you don't know that there is an objective, meaning in nature difference, okay, between right and wrong, that is a satanic belief system. Morality, it's not right.
Yeah, next time. Well, in 1 minute for me, but take you a while to get here. Mark Passio's Natural Law Seminar, Part 22. Oof. Good stuff.